Hey everyone. I figured today would be a good day to put out a couple of videos while I have a chance. And I'll tell the story of this guy right here. This is the Leatherman Wave Plus. Now, I've been very busy lately um, renovating one of our apartment buildings and cleaning up some fallen trees on our property. And when I'm not doing that, I got the kids. So when I'm cleaning up the property, I usually have a bag of tools that I'll usually go to. But lately, there's been so much to do of odds and ends and little things here and there that you just really don't know what you're going to need on a day-to-day basis. It's that crazy. So I have a ammo can that's filled with survival items like this Leatherman Wave Plus, uh, water things, fire tools, all kinds of things that you might need in case of an emergency, medical kits and things like that. And I stuck this Leatherman Wave Plus in it a couple years back. I bought it when I was working as a chemical compounder at a rubber glove factory and found it very useful. Um, and now I was working on the property and I was like, you know what, I can really use something a little bit more heavy duty than my Victorinoxes. Now, this tool is about 4 inches in length closed, and it's got 4 accessible tools on the outside. I'll go through them with you. This is the Leatherman Wave Plus that I received in 2020. And it is, if you look at the markings in the blade, which you won't be able to see, this is dated to October 2020. This was put out of the factory. So one of the blades that I use the most is this serrated blade. And this comes in at 3 inches. And it's really, really nice for all-duty, heavy-duty purposes. Like I have to do scribe certain things. I've had to use it to cut rope on the property. I just had to use it to cut some rope so I can pull some branches out of that got lodged in another tree. And I didn't have the equipment, so I just had to tie a rope, grab some rope out, cut it, and then yanked with a couple of people, pulled some limbs out. But all kinds of things, I need this for. And it locks. So I have it, and it's built with screws. It's all 420 HC stainless steel for all the blades, as far as I know. But it does lock, and it's got a good lockup. The lock bar can't go, or the liner lock, I suppose you would say, can't go all the way due to the construction. So it locks up nice. The main blade on this is a regular clip point, I guess you would say. They have their own blade shapes. It's got a nice swedge to it. Even grind on each side, even though it's high, it's even. Very pointy. I use this a lot to cut pepperoni and things outside when I'm too lazy to go inside when I'm working. Let's see what else we got here. It's got the file, a diamond file, and then it's got metal saw you could use for, and then it's got your regular wood file or metal. I've used this to the separators in the floors for buildings when they start to come up, the little metal dividers that separate different types of flooring have stuck up before at times and was sharp and can cut your feet, or if you got kids going around, if they try to touch it, they can cut their fingers. This is great to go around and smooth all those sharp edges over on all kinds of things. When you're renovating old buildings, there's all kinds of things you run into that this could be useful for, which I do. And the last thing is the saw, which is not as good, in my opinion, as a Victorinox saw, but it definitely gets the job done. These aren't long-term use saws. These are for quick pruning. You got a tree that you forgot to take one of the last limbs on the bottom off. This will quickly take it off. Anything under 3 inches, this will do fine for. I thought I bent it, but it's not. It's just the way that it's shaped right here. It curves down. Okay, yeah. There's that. And then the reason why you bought this tool is for the pliers, which it has removable wire cutters. That would be an addition that's on the Wave Plus. There's 3 generations of this. This would be the last generation. And you got your needle nose and then your regular pliers here. Now, I have a pair of mini pliers on my Swiss Champ, but it's not the same. Those are for things like picking out quarters in your wash machine or bending some paper clips, arts and crafts with your kids. But when you're outside and you need an actual something, like I had to repair a wire fence, one of those cheap ones that we have dividing a piece of our property, and the town happened to hit it with a plow and it broke it. Well, now these broken wire pieces are sticking out, and I can't have my kids touching that and hurting themselves. So the pliers on the Victorinox ain't gonna work. It's just too small. I can't get enough leverage. But this has got plenty of leverage, and because it's rolled over the other tools inside, it feels really, really good in the hand. So I was able to bend those wires sticking out and bend them over so the kids wouldn't get hurt, and that was no problem. I happened to see it because I was cleaning the property the past couple of days, and that's some of the stuff that you just have to do and you have to fix. So yeah, the pliers are really, really good for all kinds of things. Grabbing things that you don't want to touch, hot things. I have a pellet stove that I was using my Swiss Champ pliers to grab some hot things, the hot tray, but this would work a lot better. It can hold a lot more weight. And then for the inside tools, you have Leatherman's famous exchangeable bit driver, which right now I just have your basic Phillips, medium Phillips, and flathead, which they'll fit for most of the screws that I have to tighten up on the property for the most part. I do have the other bits for it, but like I said, I had this in my survival kit, so I'll have to dig those out. But you got that. And then the other tool on this side is the wire stripper, cap lifter, can opener, which also is great. These style can openers are great for opening packages. When I worked at the factory, if this was on my hip and I didn't have a box cutter nearby, this worked just as good cutting through industrial boxes with their tape and stuff. This goes right through. So that's another good tool. And then on the other side, you have Leatherman's scissors. Now it has a built-in spring right here that operates it. Unlike Victorinox, it has a spring that is replaceable. This you won't have to replace unless you break it using it not like you're supposed to. But these work really good. They're nowhere near as good as Victorinox scissors. They're not as tight. I barely have used these scissors, and it does have a little bit of wobble. It's hard to see on here. You're not going to find that on a Victorinox. Nonetheless, it will get the job done for what I would need scissors for, cutting little tags, a little bit of paper, maybe even some regular cardboard. It is nice to have on a multi-tool, and that's what this is. This tool is another bit driver. but for micro. Now, I don't have any use for this. I don't wear glasses, and I've never used it. I have used it as a pokey tool, but it does come out. It's got your flathead and then your Phillips. And you can get more. And it just goes in just like that. Yeah, it would have been nice if they exchanged this tool with an awl. That would have been really, really nice. That would have made it a really nice package. But the world's give or take. And then you got your main flathead driver or pry bar, which is very, very sturdy because of the construction. You can do a lot of lateral force on this without bending it. It's 420HC steel, so it's really tough. It's not going to snap on you unless you're being really stupid with it. But yeah, another really great tool. Lots of good tools on this thing. I've been using this a lot lately since I took it out on the property, and I figured I'd show you guys. And maybe before we go, I can show you guys. Maybe not. Somewhere on here you can actually see the date, but I forget exactly where it is. But yeah, it's even got a little lanyard that comes out of here if you lift that up and pop it out with one of your tools. It is hard to get out. But that's what I've been using a lot lately, and I've also been carrying my Sodbuster Junior for a challenge that, or an activity that we're doing from New Again Knife Reviews. So this has been in my pocket. I've used it to cut open a couple of bags of pellets so far. Because I don't want to ruin it, I have used my Leatherman's blade mostly the past couple of days. But everything that my Leatherman blade has done, I know for a fact my Sodbuster Junior will do. I didn't need a point. I don't use the point on this knife for anything. The Sodbuster is great, a really great work knife, and I'm having a great time carrying it with me. But if you're watching this New Again Knife Reviews, that's for you. I'll be catching up with everyone's videos soon and get back to commenting. But that's my Leatherman Wave, guys. This is my only Leatherman tool. I used to have more, but I gifted them away. And this is my first one that I kept. The Leatherman Wave Plus. Thank you, guys. Until the next one.